Hello, darling. My daughter is almost 11 months old now, and it's time to reflect on what I've learned on how I prepared for her and what things worked out, what things didn't, things like that. Last night was actually a bad night. She went to bed an hour later than she normally does, and I should have known right then and there when she has that hysterical scream unless you're holding her that that's not normal. And really what it is that she's teething. Then she woke up at 4 a.m. this morning and would only sleep if I was holding her. So every time I tried to put her down, it resulted in an immediate wailing scream from being practically dead asleep to hysterical in a split second. I actually even came down at 5:30 this morning. I had just put her in her crib, shut the door. She was crying. I told my husband that I was desperate and I just needed a break from her, and so he encouraged me to lay down and just let her cry for a while. And then when she wouldn't stop, he then went and got her and spent the morning with her. And all of that, she still missed her morning nap time. And not that naps can be really structured, but they do fall into these habits. And I just have to remind myself anytime she's off habit, it's because there's something going on. So yeah, last night was just really bad. Which brings me to my point or review, I suppose, for today. I had specifically opted for a car seat that was stationary, that did not attach to a stroller, that didn't have any sort of base that stays in the car, which means that if the baby is sleeping, the baby stays in the car and mommy stays in the car. I did this as a means of control, because if the car seat was stationary, then it would always be in this car, and then myself or my husband would be the only people who would drive our child. Car seats that are designed to work with a stroller and to have a base station, and you can have multiple bases and multiple cars, or even the kind with a handle that you could just literally put a seatbelt through the holes in the bottom, and that's what it's designed for. It's supposed to be quick and convenient, but in that conveniency, you are taking on a risk, because that means you're at a busy place, a mall, a baseball game. Anybody walking by can grab that handle and pick up that carriage and put it in their car. Not that that's how I live my life. I don't walk around thinking that somebody's going to steal my baby or anything like that. But I'm also not going to be naive thinking that things like that don't happen, or things like that wouldn't happen to me. So, in conclusion, I would not have changed anything about getting the stationary car seat, but I do find myself either spending time in the parked car with her with the windows down, or nap time, which is usually an hour if you're lucky. It gets reduced to 30 minutes because our drives are only 30 minutes, and unless I want to drive in circles, which I have resorted to from time to time. For any of you mamas out there who are considering getting a stationary car seat, if you're a little weird like me and you have specific reasons why you want that, it's not too terribly inconvenient. But I also didn't want to get the car seat that attached to the stroller, because I think that they're gaudy and ugly as hell. It seems a more simplistic, maybe more minimalistic, and you know, that just fit my style more. Also, a reason why you have to hang out in the car a lot is because in 11 months, I've only transferred her from sleeping in the car seat to sleeping in her crib seamlessly one time. So keep that in mind as well. Please support Hello Darling by liking and subscribe.